Hi, welcome back. I'm Jill from Copycat Crafts by Jill, and we're going to work on tonight the last piece to finish our page from part 8. This will be part 9. If you remember, this is the one I had made. I thought I was going to outdo myself and do two. Wish I wouldn't have. So I'm not sure if I want to use this one. I did glue on a piece of material because that is what was going to be my hinge. And I did want it to really fit the whole page. Then I felt that that was a little too long. So I'm just not sold on this one. I like it. I just thinking I can do maybe one I like maybe a little more. So this one is 5/8, and I made this off video, but I did show it in its before I papered it, I think. I know I showed this one. This one is a 1/2 inch. This one is 5/8. This one's, I think, even a little shorter, just by about 1/4 inch shorter. But I kind of like this size, so I think this may be the one I use. It still will come down here because I'm going to put a tab on the bottom. I do like that look. This one, it is just made of 4 pieces of thin cardstock glued together. So I cut them all 1/2 inch wide, 4 of them, glued them all together, and then I just cut it off at whatever. I didn't even measure. I just made it that length. I figured I could trim it when I wanted to. Then I glued it to a piece of paper. So now it would really be hard to glue to trim. So now it's the size that it is. The end. Then I was going to try and make one with large brads to hold the string that I was going to use. I just got this thin, I don't know, it's a little thicker than kite string, or maybe it is kite string. I did try my brown string, but it seems like when I pull that against the brads, it breaks. The brads, I guess, are too sharp. I'm hoping that this doesn't do that. So anyway, once I glued all them together, I left them sit overnight to really have the glue harden. Then I glued it on a piece of paper. Then I just measured in a 1/2 inch on this side, but I wanted more on the bottom in case I put on a tab, which is that little line you see, because a tab would get glued on there, and I didn't want the tab to come up and get in the way of the hole. So I marked and punched the holes, and I actually did that on camera, but there was on my phone on video, but I didn't have the sound on, and that sort of defeats the purpose. So so that's the, if I use big brads, even on this skinny one, thin one, it looks like that, and I think that's still okay. The small brads are just, well, a little small. I mean, it's not that I don't know. I think I like the kind of the heftier brad. So I think I'm going to use the heftier brad on both. So, originally, I was going to show you how to put the string on with the brads and then hide the back of the brads so they weren't showing. What did I Where did I put the one here? This one. This one I used eyelets, but on my original copycat, I used brads. And I did hide the legs. So you can do it any way you want. It's all a matter of what you like and what fits your design. So you go with what you like. I believe I'm gonna go with these brads. And I'm gonna do one and hide the legs. So let's start. Let's do one and hide the leg. This one I can't hide the legs on. I already glued the paper on. That's fine. I don't mind seeing the legs. So that's fine. To be honest, I was even gonna just do the eyelets in this, but eyelets I find very stressful because I always crush them and completely. They're just a source of stress for me. So I'm going to try this because on this one we're going to hide the legs. So we want to get the brads in first. So I'm going to put the brad in. Oh, first you got to also put in the short end, which I probably made too long. Really? Of course, whenever you're filming, it cannot go smooth. Alright, so now that the tail is through, so now we're going to put this through and pull. This is the part I want to make sure I have enough. Okay, do. Now this part I want to wrap it around just maybe twice. I don't want to make it too much of a big bulky thing. And then I'm going to bend the brad legs up. If you have to trim the top one, that's fine. Go for it. I don't think I will have to. I think I can get away with that. Then I just want to try to work this one down a little bit center. Because of the legs, you may not get it completely centered. That's okay. Alright. Alright, so we have the leftover tail under the one leg. I do push it on the table to try and get a good tight. Alright, so same with this one. We want to sort of wrap it around and stick the tail through. Where is my third hand? So I can pull that out. It undid. Okay. Alright. Stick that through. Now we're going to just pull it. Don't over pull it too tight, because you will discover just how strong you really are, and it will break. Alright. Okay, put it on your table and give it a good press down. Okay, we got our string on. I didn't pull it to the center quite as much as I should have, so you may want to do that. Now, if you want, you can glue the tails. You can trim them a little and then glue them. So that's what we will do. Trim them off a little bit. I'm going to leave a little bit because I like to glue the tail down hair. Oh, just kind of about where they would lay. Just going to glue them down. Doesn't have to be in any. I'm going to let that dry for a couple seconds. Okay, while we're letting that one dry, we can decide if we want to go for brads and do it like that, only everyone will see the legs. I don't mind that. As a matter of fact, I kind of like that. One, just going in for the brads. Where are my brads? I kind of like that because it gives me the opportunity that if I ever break the string or I feel I want to tighten it or change it out, the brads on the back, all I have to do is unhook the brad, close the feet and pull it out. Done and done. So I don't mind that, but some may mind that. Okay, we have decorative brads. We have rusty looking brads. They're not really rusty. Okay. I think I want to, if I'm using this one, I think I want to match the brads up. So I'm just going to grab 2 rusty ones. Put it to the back. Now, I know this is where I'm going to want to connect my material. Underneath, probably. Maybe the top. You can do it whichever way you want. You could even do it both. You could put a little bit on the top. This is the part that will get glued, so you can put a little bit there. You can cut it and then even still put a little bit on the underneath. So you could do it and either way. It doesn't really matter. I know for sure I'm going to do mine underneath, so I might as well cut and then fray if I can fray. Yep, do a little bit of fraying it up, both ends. Oh, okay, so this will be what I end up gluing under here. So before I do that though, I'm going to decide where I want my brads. And again, you want to stay far enough away on the bottom so that whatever tab I use, I'm not infringing on that. Let me turn it over to the back. I mean, I'll erase the mark if I can find a pencil with a... Alright, good eraser. Okay, so right there. So I gotta do it. I'm gonna say, here's my mark. I'm gonna say right about here. I don't want it too far away from the... And then up here, we can put it closer. So I'll probably have to trim the legs, but that's where I'm doing it. Alright, I'm gonna get this thing out. I used small hose, so I'm gonna use the small hose and I'm just gonna force it. I didn't really, it looks in the center, but till I get the hole in it. Okay. And then this one. This paper is really hard to see with a pencil mark on it. All right. We're good to go. Oh, do I have any? Oh, I want to cut another piece of this string. I want to see if this doesn't, if it works a little better. I'd rather have more than not enough. And just gonna, now how I dirty up my string. Let's dirty up the string. So I just put it on there and pull it through a couple of times. I don't want it too yucky, but okay. Now, gee, why am I leaving dirty fingerprints everywhere? All right. So we're going to wrap it like once or twice. I just did it 3 times, but turn it. Oh, and again, I got to put the tail through. I don't want it all glued up. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm doing it. Okay. There we go. All right. This time, let's try to get it a little bit better in the middle. I want the smaller leg up to the top because I still may have to trim it, but that's where I want it. Okay, I'm gonna push it down on my table. There we go. There we go. If you have a slightly thicker string, that would be great, but I don't, so we're working with what I have. This stuff is pretty strong. All right, let me get my other one. Let's see now if I can put that through, up it, and just put it around. Well, I better pull it a little bit tighter first. And then okay, well, let me I pulled it through, I wrapped it around there twice, and now it's okay. That's pretty tight. So then I want to wrap it around the legs like twice. Too many. How's that? Okay, it's pretty tight. Then I want to fold one up and one down. Okay. I don't know how many have more than 2 hands, but whoever does, bless you. All right, now I'm gonna trim these pretty short because this will be showing. This is what it is. So that's what it is. Okay, so now I'm just gonna try to bend that over to the side a little bit and bend this one over to the side a little bit, because that one's the one that will have the material, a little piece of material hinge on it. And if I glue it underneath, okay, I don't want it too long. I actually do want the brad kind of peeking out, so you know that there's a brad under there. That may be a little too long. Don't need it that long. Okay. All right, so I'm going to glue this material on. For that, I'm using 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to put it on the material first. Okay, so I want it to cover the material, because I don't necessarily want the material sticking out the end. I'd rather see the material. I don't want the paper sticking out of the end. I want to see the material. That's what I meant to say. Okay. Now I can sneak in some more glue if I want it. And I do. Let's see if I can just put a plop there. Oh, what did I do? Put a plop there. Okay. Now while that's kind of drying, I'll bring this one back in. And we're going to cover the legs. So I want to make, okay, the legs are not sticking out. Okay. So on this one, I want to trim to the leg part. To the leg, yeah, that's not what I meant. Just want to trim it so that when I fold it over, I'm not I'm not folding over and making a big bulk on the end. Because if we want a, all right, straighten that out a little. Comes from the left, it looked fine. From the right, it looked not fine. All right. Yep. Yep. Let's glue that down. Maybe we should use some of this. If we can get it to come out. Okay. Definitely glue right in that crease there. Glue around there. Okay. Oh, that one is double there. All right. Push one side over, just one side for now, because we will have to glue the other side in a couple minutes. But for now, let me get this out of the way before I plunk glue or something I don't want on it. Okay. All right, I'm just rocking it on its side and pressing. Okay. Just making sure it fits tight. I don't want it all wrinkly, so just making sure it fits as tight as we can get it. And before I put glue on it, though, I want to make sure I'm not gonna run off, like perhaps right there. I may just take a, whoops, drop something. Rather have it be a hair shy than sticking. I don't want it sticking over the end. So we're gonna nip that off. It's still sticking out. I think it is. Okay. All right. I'm not sure what I'm gonna be stepping on. Okay. Okay. Get that. Oh, it's my glue pin. Well, that would have been fun to step on at some point. Okay. Roll it over. There we go. Okay, now this little piece is going to, well, both pieces actually, are going to get trimmed and rolled up. Actually, I think I'll trim this off. That way I don't have bulk on this end as well. Get rid of the bulk wherever we can. Oh, I hope I'm not. Okay. Yep. All right. Let's see which end. Okay. So we're just going to, and then we're going to trim it down a little bit because we don't need it that fat or high or whatever you want to call it. This is what I did before. Then I just trim some of this off so that I could bend that up. Just clean off those corners a little bit, although till they get, it still might be a little long, till they get inked. Okay, curling that end in. Okay. And this is where the tab, if you're putting a tab on of some sort, this is where the tab will go. So that one's a little wide, but this is where the material will go. This is slightly wider. I'm not sure if I want to leave it that wide, but before actually, I have to remember to ink it before I put it on, but let's see how that looks. Oh, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Okay. It can be a little less, but I don't mind that at all. All right. Let's ink some of it now. Then I'll show you how we put the arrows, which I also just did a little bit, worked a little bit ahead, which I cut these out with a die that I have, and I have bigger arrows that also cut out a center, and that center is what the smaller ones are. So that's what I'm using. So for the skinny one, I'm going to use the smaller arrows. For the bigger one, I'm going to use the bigger arrows. So that's what I'm doing. So what I did was, let me get some of this out of the way. What I did was I took, I didn't do it here, so you'll get to see me. I did a couple colors. Here's black. This one is probably, this one's green, black. What I wanted to do was glue two together. So I'm going to do that. And this is what I've already done with these and ended up with two. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so we're going to put glue on one. And we're going to glue it together. Now, as long as you end up with the color you want on top, I want a black one on top, so I would just want to make sure that I don't use my black one, but I'm not done here yet. Okay, now this is going to be the part that you're going to go, why? And maybe you don't even have to do this, but this is what I did. Let me spin this over. If I want, for this one, if I want this end to stick out, so like that. So so I'm going to cut off here, and I'm going to glue this piece on the top of that one. Kind of want to head these out. So I'm going to glue that on the top. Then I'm going to take, let me get the excess glue. Then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to nip off a little bit. Okay, let's hope that's enough. The string is really thin, and there is a method to my madness here, so bear with me. So now this one, we're going to glue back onto the end. Now, which is why for this one I did it in a different color so you can see. Because with this one, it's the same color, and you can't really see that there's a space there. So with this one, you can see there's a space. You can make a space a little bit bigger, but I just did not. Okay, then that is where the string is going to fit in, like that. So I'm just making sure they're both, that these are black, because I want black on top, but I want it to be really heavy duty. So I'm going to glue these two black ones together. Like this. Both of these then will get glued on the top. But before I do that, I kind of wanted the outline of tan glued on to really make it stick out. So I don't have an outline for these because I don't have a die that does that on that size, because like I said, that size is actually this cutout, the center. So all right, make sure you get enough on the corners. Okay, and we want it on the black one, on the black side. Then I'm going to ink it up. Let's get it where we want it and let it dry. Whoop, for a second. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. We're gonna come over here. Okay, this one's my top one because it's black, and this one got turned upside down. I don't know if you can see, there's actually a very tiny little niche where I cut it, and that's what's going to go under the string, like that. Then this one gets glued on top. You don't want to put glue where the string is running. You don't want to glue your string to your arrow. If you do, honestly, the world doesn't come to an end. Ask me how I know. But if you want to move the arrow up and down, then you don't want glue on it. Now, let me see. I have this little piece. You can see there's glue on it, and the reason why is because I actually put it under here just so I don't get glue on the paper. So I'm just going to glue, and I'm going to glue, and I know the glue is going to spread out, so so we already know that. Okay, so I'm just plunking that on top, and then, sorry if my head's in the way, trying to meet them up. I'm not going to squish too hard at this point because I don't want to push the glue into where it doesn't belong. So just sort of tapping. I do want to get the point glued down, and I do want to get this end glued down in the front and the back. Okay, just gonna give that time to, whoop, no, I did, I moved it. Okay, I'm just gonna let that go for a minute. Make sure your glue, yep. Okay, so there. So you just want to make sure that it can ride up and down, and it rides up and down beautifully, actually. And that's what we're going to do with this one. Before I glue it in, though, I do want to darken the ends all the way around. You don't have to do the inside because that won't be seen. but you will get another watch of how we set it in. And this one you'll be able to probably see a little bit better. Whoop. Okay, so we're just gonna glue, whoop. All right, good enough. All right, so I put my plastic piece under the string, and I put my arrow. Also, before I go, it doesn't matter which way you're holding it, but you do want to know which way you want your arrow to point. You can put 2 arrows on one string, so you don't need 2 strings for 2 arrows, which is kind of where I made my faux pas. So if you want 2 arrows, you can certainly put another arrow pointing in the opposite direction. Just do it the same way. Okay, so we have our arrow on. I'm just going to hold the string. Make sure I get the glue in the back and not too close. Make sure I get the glue around the ends and the tip. And not get too close to that string. It will mush. So I'm not worried that there won't be enough glue. Actually, a little worried that there will be too much glue. Okay, we're going to sit that down and get out of the way. There we go. Try to keep it a little straight till the glue catches. Put it back down just to make sure I can keep kind of. Okay, just gonna let that catch a little bit. I'm gonna put the material on. For this one, I can just use this. And I can even add a little if I want to. Let's see how much is sticking out. Okay. There we have that. I'm going to move this one aside because I'm not using this one. It's a little too thin. Just wanted to help use it to make it to show. I'm going to move my papers in case it got glue on it. Bring this in. And I think we're good to go. Yep, works good there. Got my material on, glued on already. So I can form it right where I want it. Okay, this is where I want it. Would have been cool if I would add red, but I did not have red, so it is what it is. So I think I'm going to glue that down, and I'll put a tab on it in a little bit. Let me glue that down. I really don't know which glue actually holds better if you had to pick one over the other. I love them both for different reasons. All right, I have to pull that in a bit. I kind of wanted it over this single line right there. Just gonna unch it up. Yep, unch it up. Let me look where I got it. Yep, unched. Okay. It always does come in handy to have some of those little pieces of plastic to stick when you don't want something to glue to something else. Okay, so now all we need is, well, I can't put it on yet, but I use Velcro to hold this piece down, but I can't put the Velcro until I decide what tab, and I do have many in different sizes to choose from. I think I need a bigger drawer. Do I have tabs? I have this size that actually fits. I know it's a little big, but... And I may stick with the round one. I really do like the round one. I like this one, but I don't want red, so if I find it in a different color, I'll give that a try. Don't want white. Oh, but was that a smaller one? No, just looks smaller for some reason. I don't know, anybody see any? There's oh, I don't want to. Here's one. I'll look at that. I don't think I want a white one. Okay, I think I have enough. Anyone else think I have enough? I might try a green one. That one, that works. I might try this green one. That might work. Oh, it's not green. It's actually that color. Green's in the center. I don't know. Think about it. Okay, so let's just gently, for now. Oh, actually, yes, a round one. Maybe I will just... I don't know, maybe I will just stick with the matching one. Actually, that's why I actually picked that one out now that I wasted a ton of time and lost it. I could trim it to fit if that is my issue. Is that my issue? I believe that is my issue. Alright, I'm just going to trim it a little bit. So, let's see. Oh, really? Just needs a hair off of both sides. Wow. Alright, well, I don't know. Let's give that a whirl. Hope I felt it move a little bit. Hope I'm not cutting too much off. Looks like I have more cut off one side than the other. Gotta rough it up. Alright, let me see. Still, I think a hair big, but I think I'm okay with it. I know I'm okay with it, so let's just glue the top on. Yeah, it's gonna have a little bit of a bump because this is so thick. So pulled it in, pushed it down too far. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think the material wouldn't give it as much wiggle as it does, but it does. Okay. I'm gonna let that just sit a second. And put glue on this side. I don't know if you can see. Just make sure you get it to the end. Oh, I put it in the middle. Why did I do that? I forget with these ones that have the, that only have an outside here, you don't put it in the center. So I always forget that. All right. Because then when you put it down this way, I always end up with glue in there. Okay. To hold it down a little bit because there's a big gap there, which is kind of okay because I'm going to put something in there. So that will be pretty nice. All right, now we can put the Velcro on. I don't know how many of you guys use Velcro. I use it a lot. I love it. I love it. Okay, I want the clear side on here. So I want the white side on here. Now I don't want to put it on a piece of stuff. I don't want to put it on here. So this is the only, I'm going to put it, yep, like right in here. I want to make sure that it goes in this area, right in here, not down on the feet of the, so I'm going to put my hand here and I'm going to put it right about there. Okay, I'm going to just put it down. It's not, I didn't take the back off yet. Just want to give it a sec. So I'll put this away. And I'll put this away. While I'm waiting, I'll also put some of my drawers away. All right. Now I'm going to pick this up. Pull off the whoop. Okay. Now just put it where I want it straight. 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 There we go. There we go. I don't want to lift it for a couple seconds, but so we're going to call that done. And then next time we'll probably do this. Maybe we'll save that for last, and maybe we'll do our last big page. So that's what we have so far. Let's check it out. I hope I left it on there long enough. Yep, there it is. There's the Velcro. So we have a flap down. We have a little pocket. We have a big pocket. We have a little tuck spot. And we have our working. I'm going to pull on it too much till I know everything's set. Usually I like to give it a good overnight. So there it goes. Pretty cool. Okay, well, that's it. We're almost done. Almost done. We can see it really coming together. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. Stay creative. Hugs.